Pure luxury in a bottle, premium wines and spirits. Because of the limited ingredients and growing conditions for the grapes, wine is one of the toughest drafts to make well. And the most highly touted of vintages have sold for gargantuan amounts of money over the decades. If making money is more important to you than choosing between white and red wine, then it may be time to open the cork on wine investment. It is not necessary to have a refined palate for notes and finishes to appreciate these vintages, since the bottle that achieved the highest price at auction brought in over $500,000. Now would be a good time to travel down to the basement and begin taking stock, because we are going to discuss the top 10 most costly bottles of wine that have ever been purchased. Number 10. Romanée-Conti, 1945, $123,900, equivalent to $558,000 today. If something about something appears to be familiar to you, it's probably because you've seen it before. The same bottle occupies both the number 1 and number 10 slots despite being released 11 years apart. You can see the huge yield growth that wine investments can accrue by looking at the gain of $435,000 that occurred between 2007 and 2018. This particular vintage's exceptional value can be attributed to the fact that its vineyards were completely wiped off in 1946. The vines that were necessary for the production of this bottle were wiped out by phylloxera, a pest that was at the center of the great French wine blight of the 19th century. As a direct consequence of this, there were only 600 bottles created. Number 9. The Chateau Lafite, 1787, is valued at $156,450. Chateau Lafite and President Jefferson both make a return to the list with their presence at position number 9. The initials THJ are engraved into the glass of the beverage container. It is commonly thought that this item originates from Thomas Jefferson's very own wine cellar and that it bears his name. In 1985, Malcolm Forbes, publisher of the namesake magazine after which it is named, bought this bottle. Number 8. Penfolds Block 42, 2004, a wine priced at $168,000. Penfolds is one of the oldest wineries in Australia, having been established in 1844. It is not the age of the wine, but rather the experience and reputation of the brand. That propels it into the top 10 list of the most expensive wines rather than the age of the wine. A bottle of the 2004 Block 42 Cabernet Sauvignon can be purchased for a price of $168,000. The very design of the bottles contributes to this experience in a meaningful way. A piece of wood, as opposed to the more common cork, serves as the stopper for the bottle of Block 42. A knowledgeable winemaker will assist the customer in correctly opening the bottle. Number 7. Chateau Margaux, 1787, for $225,000. This Chateau Margaux appeared to be poised to have an astounding narrative to tell, as it had been bottled in 1787. And had previously been held by Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States. This wine, on the other hand, was never actually sampled by anyone other than a tablecloth. A wine merchant by the name of William Sokolin paid $225,000 for the bottle and then brought it to a dinner party. The bottle was broken because a waiter knocked the table by accident, which caused the bottle to fracture. The insurance company paid for the wine, but they didn't contribute anything toward the tip. Number 6. The Chateau Lafite Rothschild, 1869, is valued at $230,000. It should come as no surprise that another wine from Rothschild made its way onto this list. The fact that the bottle ended up selling for $228,000 more than anticipated at an auction in Hong Kong was the source of the surprise. Even more astonishing is the fact that the unknown bidder purchased all 3 bottles of Chateau Lafite Rothschild 1869 for $230,000 for each bottle. Even at a price that is significantly higher than what was anticipated, this wine investment may still produce significant returns for the private bidder. The bottle that was produced in 1869 is often regarded as being among the most collectible vintages. Number 5. A worth of $275,000 of Heidsieck, 1907. The the most prominent winemakers, the most celebrated years of production, and production in limited quantities define the most expensive wines. The trip that this bottle of Heidsieck from 1907 has taken has contributed to the bottle's worth. A German submarine was responsible for sinking the ship that was carrying the wine during the First World War. Thankfully, some of the bottles were able to avoid being destroyed by the torpedo. Nonetheless, it took 81 years until they were found again. In 1997, more than 2,000 bottles of wine were brought up from the depths of the ocean after having been lost there. Heidsieck's narrative is the perfect accompaniment to any dish, even if the drink itself isn't the ideal option. Number 4. The Chateau Cheval Blanc, 1947, for $304,374. The 1947 Chateau Cheval Blanc is available for purchase at a price that is only a few $1,000s less than the Mouton Rothschild. This wine is regarded as the greatest Bordeaux that has ever been produced and has been given the classification of Premier Grand Cru Class A. Class A classification as a Saint-Emilion wine has only ever been awarded to a total of 2 wines. In 2010, the bottle was purchased at auction. Number 3. A Chateau Mouton Rothschild, 1945, at the price of $310,000. The Rothschild family had acquired the greatest personal fortune on the face of the globe by the turn of the 19th century. With an estimated total wealth of more than $350 billion, this family is still among the world's wealthiest families. In a similar vein, it is well known that their vineyards make wines that cater to individuals who have wealthy preferences. It is believed that a bottle of Chateau Mouton Rothschild from the year 1945 comes from one of the top vintages produced in the previous 100 years. We can only hope that the person who paid $310,000 for the bottle at an auction in 1997 shares our sentiments. The bottle itself serves as a memorial to the Allies' triumph in World War II. This is demonstrated by a V that is located on the packaging. Number 2. $500,000 for Screaming Eagle, 1992. It would appear that going to an auction is the most expensive way to hail a taxi. This bottle of Cabernet Sauvignon previously held the record for the most expensive bottle of wine ever purchased in the history of the globe. In the year 2000, the bottle made a total of $500,000 when it was auctioned off for a good cause. The record lasted for 18 years before it was broken. Because of their limited production, Screaming Eagle Cabernets typically command a high price in the secondary market. However, the sale of this one bottle for a cool $500,000 has taken the majority of wine connoisseurs by surprise. Number 1. Romani Conti, 1945, was sold for $558,000 at the time. It should not come as a shock to learn that a Romani Conti wine tops the list of the most expensive bottles of wine that have ever been purchased. They are continuously responsible for producing some of the most expensive wines that can be found. The price tag for a bottle of their 1937 Grand Cru Red is $73,228. Their White Montrachet Grand Cru from 1994 may be purchased for a price of $10,911 per bottle. They come into their own, along with the other wines on this list, when they are put up for auction. In 2018, the 1995 Domaine de la Romani Conti Grand Cru set a new record for sale price when it was purchased for $558,000. An exceptionally rare wine, there were only 2 bottles up for bid at the auction, and there have only been 600 bottles produced in total. Do you like it? Kindly give your valuable response in our comment section below. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more interesting and informative videos.